right, let's go.
That's move.
Morning, I'd like to call to order the special public hearing and special meeting of the Buchanan City Commission Wednesday, January 31st, 2024 at 9 a.m. Someone like to make a motion to open the special public hearing?
This is money I'd move to open the public hearing and public comment on proposed applications for the Michigan Community Development Block Grant.
Thank you. Is there support?
I'll support.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Dennison,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Mooney.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. At this time, the City Commission will hear public comments on proposed application for Michigan Community Block Grant. All persons wishing to comment shall be given the opportunity to do so. Any person addressing the Commission shall do so at the podium, state his or her name, and direct their comments directly to the Commission. In the event many people wish to comment, I, as presiding officer, may determine that each person speaking shall limit his or her comments to 3 minutes. As a presiding officer, I may terminate any public comments that are unreasonably lengthy, violate the city's rules of procedure for city commission meetings, or are unrelated to the subject of the public hearing. Are there any public comments? Okay.
Oh, Jeannie's
Jeannie's
coming.
coming.
Jeannie.
Good morning, Jeannie Harris, 320 Bluff Street, here in Buchanan. And I would like to speak on behalf of the North Side in regards to this grant. This would be so valuable to the homeowners that live over on the North Side. There's elderly people that can't afford to get their homes fixed up right now. So this would be an amazing opportunity for those people to get some of those repairs done. Minor repairs, like it says here, windows, roof repairs, whatever they might need. So I am speaking on behalf of this, so, okay?
Thank you. Anyone else
Thanks,
wish to
Jeannie.
make a public comment?
Mary Gilbert, 95 North Detroit. I second her statement. I wholeheartedly agree with this program. People should have safe and healthy homes to live in. There's a couple things I'd like you to cover in your discussion. Who is going to oversee the money? Who is going to oversee the selection of recipients for the micro grants, I would guess? Who is going to oversee the selection of a provider for the services? So who's going to come and do the roofing work? And if that person is the same person, who oversees that person? I'd also like to know if there will be a live, online, light item accounting of the expenses, because money's kind of an issue in the town now. I think we ought to have at least view-only access to what's being spent, and just so we can all keep an eye on things. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Anyone
good
else?
suggestions.
Wish to make a public comment? Okay. Rich?
Thanks, Mayor, Commissioners. Just for the benefit of the public, this is a rescheduled public hearing. It was scheduled for our last regular commission meeting on the 22nd. That was canceled due to weather. Like many grants that we presented to you before on the state and federal level, there's some formalities up front in order to be able to even enter an application. One of those typically is a public hearing, so that the public is on notice that the city is applying for these CDBG funds. And secondly is just a resolution from the leadership that in support of the application. So we're at the very beginning of the program. We're requesting $300,000 for generally speaking for homeowner rehabilitation and for the demolition and reconstruction of homes in the neighborhood. So we're in the process right now of crafting our application. We've been talking about applying for CDBG funds for a while, so we're happy to actually be doing it right now. There are some detailed requirements. We'll have to come up with a pro forma. So we're working on that right now, but some of the questions that we're asked right now. We don't know exactly yet. We just have to come up with an administration budget, a demo budget, and a home rehabilitation budget, kind of these buckets. We submit. We still have a few training webinars that, as we go down this path towards approval of our application, that we're developing this in conjunction with CDBG. So we will have those answers, and yes, there will be detailed accounting because that's what CDBG requires. So we will make sure that that's available to the public. Yeah, Mark.
Who makes the assessments on like the specific blocks, and then within those blocks, who's gonna be the one determining the amount of work that is potentially needed overall that's in lining up with applying for the grant? I know with the details about each home, eventually that'll come out, but the
Yeah.
overreaching, like, is it somebody goes and walks the streets or drives around and does an assessment with an assessor? How does that work?
I think what it would be is there'd be a discovery period of engagement with the neighborhood, understanding what types of activities might be in demand for addressing. We know based on prior programs that sometimes it might be upgrades to energy efficiency, HVAC systems, windows, other repairs. Could be public safety measures like ADA accessible ramps or
Gotcha.
other public safety issues.
So I have to imagine within the grant, they probably have some consistencies they found in regards to cost based on the current situation within a particular area in the city,
Yeah.
right? So that's helping you as well, I would imagine?
Yeah, I mean, there's an administration budget that we have to enter, and so in our initial discussions, the administration would be the Community Development Department. So we will devise a programming of outreach and submittal, application, and then actual implementation.
Perfect.
So that's all to be discussed. CDBG it's a bit of a commitment because there are some reporting requirements and you have to really account for every dollar.
Right.
So we're going in this kind of eyes wide open, knowing that we're gonna have to dedicate some administration to it from our department.
Cool. I think in good faith, and to her point, I think that's something that would be really beneficial, that once we get approval, I would think it would be really neat to see something on the website with one of the circles, the way that the current website is designed, that would then push into this type of information. Because, I mean, we need good news topics that are happening within the city, and I think that would be a really big one to
Yeah.
make very apparent for people and give them access to click through. And of course, any kind of personal property address, things like that may not be shared, but how many windows have we repaired? How many HVAC installs? How
Yeah.
many ADA ramps? Like, this is, to me, like a huge marketing opportunity that gives us a lot of reach that would go well within the city, or the state as
Yeah.
well. So
Okay, yeah, that's good.
just some ideas, just
Yeah.
spitballing on how you
Mhm.
can capitalize on good stories, and maybe when they start showing up,
Yeah.
it's to highlight some of the good things that are happening, so.
I'm curious, and you probably don't
Mhm.
have the answer, because it might be a tough question, but once you get going, how do you decide who in the neighborhood, like, you only have a limited amount of money, how do you decide who's gonna get, like, the money first? Is there going to be,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna base it on? Are you gonna base it on?
We have to
How do
come
you
up with
start? I mean,
criteria.
okay.
We
I mean, I
have
know
to
it's gonna be a
come up with
difficult
rules
thing.
like an RFP almost.
Because everybody
you know?
could use $5,000 to help fix
Yeah.
up their house, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I'm sure there's
I think there should be
best practice.
prioritized eligible activities.
and I'm just
Uh,
curious, do they set something up like that? Do they help, do they have
There's
like a
guidelines.
program
Good
that helps
question.
you?
Yeah.
There's guidelines, but we, I think, have some leeway. You know, this type of program has been done in Niles for the past
Right.
several
On
years. and
Fifth Street.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, oh, it's
I
beautiful compared to the old
think you
days, oh my
actually
gosh.
get money for it.
One
Yeah.
of, one of the things that was interesting when I asked Niles about their program was I was like, because they're launching a new one now, is what type of activities are you gonna cover? And yeah, they know what the typical activities are, but they wanna engage the neighborhood to see,
Right.
like, are there things that, like, let's not presume to know what the neighborhood needs, let's listen to the
Huh,
neighborhood.
interesting.
And I was gonna say, I'm assuming that the North Side neighborhood is gonna be very, very involved with with going door to door and asking people what they need and making sure everyone gets involved and,
Yeah, it seems to me like my gut feeling is that your immediate reaction is gonna be, let's look at safety, right? That should be your number one priority, right? And then there's criteria within that safety protocol. Then you start to take the personal feelings out of it and you go, look, this individual, XYZ, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever it is, safety. And then the people who are saying, hey, I would like to have that too, you go, look, this individual based on this criteria, regardless of race, sex, gender, this is the safety protocol that we need to ensure that this money goes
Well,
towards, right? That's how I'm
I
looking
think
at it.
that's why it's so important the neighborhood actually be involved, because there might be people who live in the neighborhood who have no idea this is even happening. So Jeannie's gonna
Absolutely.
say, that person hasn't come out of their house in 10 years, can't rake their yard, can't fix their roof.
Right.
They need help.
I think it should be
So-
based on longevity. You know, if somebody's been in a neighborhood 25 years, should get way more precedence over somebody that's been in a neighborhood 2 years, because we know how that's gonna work. Somebody's gonna own some slumlord that owns property is gonna want this free money. And some little old lady that doesn't get out of her house at all is not even gonna know about it.
Yeah, like
So it's gonna be up to you, Jeannie, and the neighborhood. Great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I would think so.
Yeah.
And then whoever checks the most boxes might get top priority.
Well, and it's
or
really
something.
great too,
Right.
because you guys have already established a Northside Neighbors group, and then that can be a catalyst to get individuals in front of us, or at least through you, and have the application filled out. Like, we have to assume not everybody's going to have the ability or the capability to even complete it.
Ashley?
I just wanted to say one thing. The main requirement from MISHDA is that whoever receives any benefit from this program has to be in a certain financial bracket, so 80%
Right.
AMI. So to hopefully address Mr. Yonsky's concerns.
Not really, you can get around them numbers.
Okay, so
You know what I
that's
mean?
the main requirement from MISHDA, so just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that.
The other thing I would say is we didn't get the grant yet.
Let's get it
So let's
submitted and
get
see
the
what
grant.
happens.
We're feeling good about it. We've been very successful with our grant applications. We're feeling like we have a strong application, but we haven't gotten it yet. This is just the first required public hearing and resolution,
When is the due date on this?
February 12th.
When did it start? I mean, when did you first know about it, or when did it first come out?
No, we put our letter of intent in November.
Do we have to have another public hearing? Do you have to have two?
I don't think so.
No, just one?
So we've known about it since the middle of November. Okay.
Jeannie, were you were you planning to have like maybe some kind of public forum or block meetings or something like that? To
Right.
Mm.
Right. Well, and we do have, well, you mentioned a church, but we do have other venues that we can use, so, yeah, just reach out,
Right.
Oh, no.
No matter how much you advertise.
No.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed we get
Yeah,
it.
door hangers or something like that.
Great. Somebody,
Thank you, Rich.
any other questions
Thanks,
or
Rich and
comments?
Ashley.
Thank you guys for going after that.
Yep.
That's awesome.
This is not for, like, we've got that burnout house up there. The county's supposed to pay for that.
Oh, it says demo in there.
There's some
Yeah.
restrictions on demo. You can basically pay back in the sale of the house the cost of a demo, but you can't.
So we can I mean, I don't wanna use it for demolition, because we have avenues to use monies for demolition. That's my whole point.
You technically can't use these funds for
We just have to get aggressive with the county. I don't know when they specifically asked for their applications, Rich, but we've got a house on Redbud, and now we've got that burnout house on the north side, you know, and it's been down for a year and a half, and we've been asking, the county's been saying they're gonna tear the one down on Redbud for a couple of years. So I don't know if that's in your sphere of applications or who they choose. We got told that the hospital was priority for the county, but the hospital's gone and has been gone for a couple, 2 or 3 years now, maybe even 4 years.
And I would imagine that demo is in relation to something that's existing and that you are replacing part of the program, right? So if you have a new ADA ramp, you'd have to demo the old one potentially, is probably what their language is associating that with, correct?
But it's extremely strict, like you have to do so.
Perfect.
Like you
We
can't.
want it to be.
You can't cover things that have been done more than 12 months ago. You can't do this, like, it's
Perfect.
so, but I mean, it's
Yeah.
really, really strict.
That's what we want.
It's kind of a pain in the neck, it's so strict, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
well.
there's crazy rules that you have to follow.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you.
Anybody like to make a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make said motion.
Is there support?
This money I'll support.
Thank you. Can I have a roll call, please?
Whedon,
Yes.
Bianski,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
Dennison.
Yes. Okay, I'd like to call to order the special meeting. Can I have a roll call, please?
Bianski,
Yes.
Money,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
Dennison,
Yes.
Whedon.
Yes.
At this time, I'll take public comment. If anyone would like to make a public comment on the agenda items, please make your way to the podium, state your name for the minutes. Okay, seeing none, let's move down to new business. Consider resolution 2024-01/03, authorizing resolution for the CDBG program.
Sean, I'll move to approve the resolution 2024.01/03, authorizing resolution for CDBG program as presented.
Thank you. Is there support?
Money I'll support.
Thank you. May I roll call, please?
Money,
Yes.
Swam,
Yes.
Dennison,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bianski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Good luck, Rich and Ashley.
Yes. Best of luck.
Any
Let's do it for
public
the
comment on non-agenda items? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make said motion.
Thank you. Support?
Support.
Thank you. May I roll call, please?
Swam,
Yes.
Dennison,
Yes.
Whedon,
Yes.
Bianski.
I was hoping we were gonna discuss a couple other things, but yes.
Money,
Yes.
special meeting is adjourned.
Jeannie, I'm looking forward to the parties, the block parties now with everything happening down there. It's gonna be quite the event center. June?
June 8th? June 8th.
Is that the?
June 8th.
Is
Saturday.
that gonna be the,
Okay.